Hello everybody. Let us try to answer an item from trigonometry on trigonometric equations. Credits to the Lehigh University High School Math Contest for providing me with this item. What is the smallest positive solution in radians of the following equation? 5 cosine x plus 2 sine squared x equals 4. Pause this video if you would like to give this item a try. And if you're done, let us dive in with the solution. Now, to solve trigonometric equations, generally we want to have an equation in one variable. Now, quote unquote on this variable, since we want to express everything in terms of one trigonometric function. So we may use the following identity to help us rewrite the equation. We have the Pythagorean identity, sine squared x plus cosine squared x equals 1. Note how we can use this to get that sine squared x in this equation. We can rewrite sine squared x as 1 minus cosine squared x. Note that if we substitute sine squared x as 1 minus cosine squared x, then everything in this trigonometric equation will only be in terms of cosine x. And then we can apply our knowledge in algebra to solve this item. So replacing sine squared x by 1 minus cosine squared x in the given equation, we will end up with this. Now all we have to do is just expand this, and let's see what will happen. So note that we have some sort of quadratic equation. Now note how if we replace cosine x with some variable, let's say y, then it's going to be a quadratic in y. Now we can expand this to 5 cosine x plus 2 minus 2 cosine squared x equals 4. Simply distribute the factor of 2 to 1 minus cosine squared x. Then let's isolate everything to one side, and we're going to get that 2 cosine squared x minus 5 cosine x plus 2 equals 0. As I said, if we have y instead of the trigonometric function cosine x, then we're going to get a quadratic equation like 2y squared minus 5y plus 2. So anything we can do in algebra to factor it will also apply in this case. So let's try to factor. We can factor 2 cosine squared x minus 5 cosine x plus 2 equals 0 into two factors, 2 cosine x minus 1 and cosine x minus 2. Similar to what we do in algebra, we take each factor and equate it to 0. For the first case, if 2 cosine x minus 1 equals 0, then we're going to get cosine x equals 1/2. If we have cosine x minus 2 equals 0, then we're going to get cosine x equals 2. However, recall the range of the cosine function. The range of the cosine function is only from negative 1 to 1 inclusive. So cosine x equals 2 is actually an impossible value. Therefore, we would cancel or eliminate the case cosine x equals 2 and only deal with cosine x equals 1/2. Thus, we only need to get the smallest positive solution to cosine x equals 1/2. Now, so we know that x is one of those special angles, the smallest of which being 60 degrees, because cosine 60 degrees is indeed 1/2. Now, since the question asks the solution in radians, we want to have x equals pi over 3 as our final answer.